This crochet frog pencil topper is a must make for all of my froggy lovers out there. Hi guys, it's Katie from Yarn Society. Thanks for joining me today as we crochet our little froggy together. If you are a lover of all things frogs, I also have a frog jewelry holder and a frog desk buddy, and I will link all of those down below. If you are looking for another pencil companion, I also have this kitty pencil topper, and I will link that pattern and video down below as well. We're going to go through our supply list and then we're going to get started on the pattern. I want to give a shout out to my daughter who made me this super cute frog ring. Okay, to get started, we are going to start round 1 with 6 single crochet into a magic circle. You can do that however you'd like. I'm just going to make a slip knot and then I'm going to chain 2. Here is chain 1 and chain 2. I'm going to place 6 single crochet in that second chain from the hook. This is an easy way to do your magic circle if you're struggling with the other ways. I know there's many different ways to start a magic circle. So if you are struggling, this is a good way to get started. Just going to tighten up my magic circle here, and then I'm going to grab a stitch marker. I like to place my stitch marker on the last stitch of the round, but feel free to place it on the first if that's what you're used to. So for round 2 through 6, we are going to single crochet into each stitch around for 6 stitches. But there are 3 ways that we can go about doing this. And the first way we're going to do together is we are just going to work our single crochets on the wrong side, and I will talk you through that. The second way is here. If we crocheted round 1 through 4 the right way, we can go ahead and flip it out with a pencil. You know it's the wrong way if you see your magic circle string. And then you would continue single crocheting round 5 and 6. The third way you can go about doing this is crochet round 2 through 6 the right way. And then you can flip it out then. But that way is a little bit harder to flip, so just keep that in mind. For round 2, we are going to single crochet in each of the 6 stitches, and our work's going to naturally turn in on us, and we're just going to kind of go with it. We're going to skip this stitch here. This is our slip knot bit. We're going to go underneath that first stitch and make a single crochet. Move over to the next stitch. This is single crochet 2. This is 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to change my stitch marker so we can still see our magic circle string. We are going to start round 3 and we're just going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Because our work is inside out, it's just a little bit tougher to see our stitches, so just go slow and count each stitch. So this is single crochet 1, single crochet 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It feels a little bit weird because you kind of want to turn your work the other way, but we're just going to go with it. We're going to move on to round 4. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. You can just go slow and really find your stitches. Here's single crochet 5, and then here's single crochet 6. This is how we're looking so far. I'm going to go ahead and change my stitch marker. For round 5, we're going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Here's 1, 2, 3, kind of really searching here, 4, 5, and 6. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 6, so just single crochet around, go slow, take your time, and you'll find those stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. We are going to start round 7 next, and after round 7, I swear things get so much easier. For round 7, we are going to make a single crochet increase in each stitch around. We're going to place our hook under the first stitch and make 2 single crochet. Here is 1, go back under the same stitch, this is 2. Then we'll move over and make another single crochet increase. Here's 1, go back to the same stitch, 2. Then we're going to make another single crochet increase. Go into the next stitch, make another single crochet increase. My stitch marker is not behaving at all. We have our 5th single crochet increase. And then we're going into our last stitch and make another single crochet increase. For the pattern, I'm going to be calling a single crochet increase just an increase. Okay, at the end of round 7, we have 12 stitches. So from here on out, moving forward, we can see our stitches a whole lot better. For round 8, we are going to increase in the first stitch and move over and make a single crochet. And we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So we're going to go under our first stitch and we're going to make that single crochet increase. Then we're going to move over for a single crochet. We're going to repeat the sequence. So we have an increase, 2 single crochet in the same stitch, move over for a single crochet. Then we have another increase, move over for a single crochet, move over for an increase, and then make a single crochet. We have an increase, a single crochet, and then our last sequence of an increase, and then a single crochet. At the end of round 8, we have 18 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 9, we are going to increase in the first stitch and we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. We'll repeat the sequence. We have an increase in our first stitch. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here's 1, move over, 2. Then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Here's 1, move over, single crochet 2. Then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, here's single crochet 2. Then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, single crochet 2. Then we have another increase, single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then here's our last sequence. We have an increase, make a single crochet in each of the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 9, we have 24 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker. So now we can see here that this is the post. This is the part that's going to be holding our pencil or our crochet hook. And then we are going to be building up and around our post. For round 10, we are going to single crochet into the back loop only for the next 24 stitches. Get your hook underneath that back loop. We're just going to single crochet in the next 24 stitches. This will create the nice little ridge for our pencil holder. Thank you guys for joining me today. If anyone made the kitty pencil topper, let me know in the comments below. I have a few more of these pencil topper designs. With fall and the holidays quickly approaching, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them up right away. They might be kind of more of a New Year thing, but let me know if you are looking for more pencil toppers or different designs so I can gauge when I should put those next videos up. So you guys let me know in the comments. We are reaching the end of round 10. We are still going to have 24 stitches at the end of round 10. We have our nice little ridge here. We can change our stitch marker. For round 11, we are going to single crochet in the next 24 stitches. So you're just going to be going under both loops and just single crochet all the way around. Speaking of fall, I got my first pumpkin spice latte. You'll have to tell me if you're a pumpkin spice latte fan or some people just think they're gross. And last season, I did have a really gross one and it kind of turned me off. So I thought maybe that was enough. Maybe I had enough of that in my life. So no more for me. But then this season, I was like, okay, I'm going to give it one more shot because I really do like them. And I had the best, maybe the best one ever. So now I feel like I have to just stop. Like, I don't feel like I should get another one for the rest of the season because it was so good. I don't know what they did. Maybe they changed the recipe. I don't know if this is like this Starbucks worker just knew what she was doing, but it was delicious. Okay, at the end of round 11, we still have 24 stitches. Round 12, we're going to make an increase in that first stitch, single crochet in each of the next 3. Here is our increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to make another increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Here is an increase. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Here is an increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Another increase. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Here's our last increase. Single crochet in the last 3. At the end of round 12, we have 30 stitches. We can change our stitch marker. For round 13, we are going to single crochet in the next 30 stitches. Go ahead and single crochet in the next 30, and then we'll meet back at the end. We're at the end of round 13. I'm going to change my stitch marker. We still have 30 stitches. For round 14, we're going to make an invisible decrease, and we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. We're going to take this decrease a little slow. Place your hook under the front loop of the first stitch, then place your hook directly under the front loop of the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's 1, move over 2, move over 3. We're going to make another decrease, go under the front loop, directly under the next front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Here is another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. We have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. And then our last decrease. Single crochet in the last 3. At the end of round 14, we have 24 stitches. For round 15, we are going to single crochet in the next 24. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll meet back at the end of round 15. At the end of round 15, we still have 24 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 16, we're going to be making the eyes. So we are going to grab a few stitch markers because we're going to be marking the back loops of stitch 11 and stitch 16. So all of our eye stitches will be worked into the front loop, and then we will have the back loop marked. And this is really helpful for round 17. If you've done a few of my patterns in the past, you know how this works, and you can choose whether or not you like to use the stitch markers. So here I'm just going to find stitch 11. I'm going to mark the back loop only, and then I'm going to find stitch 16 and mark the back loop. If you don't have extra stitch markers, you can use like a bobby pin or a paper clip, anything to just mark your back loop. I'm also going to grab 2 extra stitch markers before I start round 16 because I am going to mark 2 of my eye stitches, and that's just helpful for round 17. Okay, once you have your stitches marked, this is what it'll look like. We're going to go ahead and get set up again with our hook. You're going to single crochet in the next 10 stitches. So basically we're going to single crochet all the way up to that stitch marker. So here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We are going to make the eye, so we're going to make 3 single crochet into that front loop only. And I am going to grab a stitch marker and mark the last single crochet. So this is single crochet 1, here's 2, and then here is 3. I'm going to pause, grab my stitch marker, and just mark that little bit. We are going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches, so we should have 4 stitches available here. 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to make 3 single crochet into that front loop only. Once again, this is our eye. Here is single crochet 1, 2, and 3, all in the same front loop. I'm going to mark that last stitch. And then we're going to single crochet in the next 8 stitches. At the end of round 16, we are going to have 24 stitches, counting the marked back loops, not the front loop stitches of the eyes. For round 17, we are going to make a decrease, single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and repeat that one more time. So here is our first invisible decrease. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, single crochet 2. We're going to make another decrease, single crochet in the next 2. And from here, we're going to make one more decrease, and then we're going to skip these 3 eye stitches, and we're going to make a single crochet into the back loop that we marked. So sometimes it's a bit hard to see if you didn't mark it, so that's why I like to just pop a stitch marker in there. We're going to make a single crochet into that stitch. Ignore these here. You can pop out that stitch marker. Then we're going to reach our hook over into the stitch next to the marked stitch, and we're going to make one more single crochet. So just ignore those eye stitches once again and go place your hook into that stitch next to the stitch marker. Make a single crochet. From here, we're going to make one decrease. Then we're going to make a single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to ignore all the eye stitches and make a single crochet into the back loop that we marked. So here we have a decrease, single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to ignore all the eye stitches, and then we're going to make a single crochet into that back loop only. I'm going to just pop out the stitch marker. And then we're going to make a decrease into the stitch next to our marked stitch marker. So the decrease is a little bit awkward. We just want to get our hook underneath that front loop and then go under the next front loop. Continue to make your decrease. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Make 1 more decrease. Single crochet in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 17, we're going to have 18 stitches, so we can go ahead and pop out that extra stitch marker, and hopefully that helped. We are going to pause here. Go ahead and grab one of those stitch markers that you just took out. You can place that into your working yarn just so we don't lose it. We are going to place the eyes, and we're going to embroider on a little mouth. I like to place my safety eyes right underneath these little 3 single crochets that we made. If you need to count, that ridge here is round 10. We have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. We're going to place our safety eyes between round 15 and 16 right underneath those little single crochets. So I have 9mm safety eyes. You can feel free to use 8 or 10, whatever you have. We're going to grab the backs of our eyes and just kind of shimmy those on. And then we'll do the other side. And then I just like to fix my eyes up a little bit. Okay, once your eyes are all set, we're going to grab a long piece of thread. I like to put a knot on the end, and I'm going to grab an embroidery needle because it just makes it easier. And we are going to place a smile. You can actually place it between your eyes and then down, or you can go down around. I'm actually going to go right in between my eyes. I'm just going to go over 2 stitches. So here I'll show you. This is if you go in between the eyes. And then this one is if you go down around. So maybe see which look you like better. I am going to go over 2 stitches right in between the eyes. I want to secure my yarn, so I'm going to grab a piece of yarn on the inside of the head and pull it through to the knot. I'm going to go back through a stitch. I'm going to pull that through until I get a loop, and then I'm going to go behind the loop to secure that thread. I'm going to go up through a stitch in between the eyes, and then I'm just going to go down around. You can see that there. Pull it through, and then I'm just going to move over to the next stitch. Pull that through, and then go down into that same stitch in the bottom. It's just a quick little smile. So you feel free to place that where you'd like. I'm going to secure the yarn in the back by going through a stitch, pulling through until I get a loop, and then I'll go behind the loop. You can do that one more time just for some extra security. I'm going to cut off that extra bit that I have. And then from here, we have our eyes and our smile. And now we're just going to add some stuffing. So what I like to do is put your pencil in or whatever. You can even use an extra crochet hook if you don't have a pencil or a pen. And then we are going to place the stuffing around that post. You want to make sure that you go around the post and that post is always in the middle. Here I'm just going to grab a little bit of stuffing and then go all the way around. Putting it in a pencil or a crochet hook really does help kind of keep that middle part in the middle. Stuff until you are happy. You can overstuff it, make it big chunky. You can put a little bit less. If you are using this for kids, I would suggest a little less stuffing so that the head isn't so heavy for the pencil. Once you're happy with your stuffing, we're going to take out that extra stitch marker and then we're going to get set up again with our crochet hook. We only have 2 rounds left, surprisingly. So for round 18, we are going to decrease and then we're going to make a single crochet. And we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. Here is our decrease. Oops, totally lost it there. And then we're going to make a single crochet. We are going to decrease and then a single crochet. And then we are going to make another decrease and then a single crochet. Decrease, single crochet, decrease, and a single crochet, and then our last decrease and single crochet. At the end of round 18, we have 12 stitches. If you want to, you can add just a tiny bit more stuffing just for that top. Okay, once you're happy, you can go ahead and change your stitch marker. At the end of round 18, we have 12 stitches. For round 19, we are going to decrease 6 times. So we are just going to make decreases until we reach the end. Here is a decrease. And then we're going to make another one. This is our second, and we'll have 6 total. So I'm going to let you make your decreases. At the end of round 19, we have 6 stitches left. We just have to fasten off and close this up. So leave a long tail. We're going to yarn over and pull through. And I like to just pull that little bit really tight at the end. So just snatch that up. We're going to grab a yarn needle. And then I like to find my stitches first. So here was my fastened off. And then I have stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 is here. I'm going to place my needle under that front loop of that stitch and I'll count this as 1. I'm going to go under the front loop of the second stitch. And I like to turn my piece as I go. This is 3, 4, 5, and 6. Feel free to close however you'd like. I'm going to keep an eye on this hole here, and then I'm going to tighten this up, and I'm going to place my needle where I think my hole was. So I'm going to place it right down the middle, and then I'm going to weave my yarn through. Just be careful of your post. Try to go behind it, and then I'm just going to weave my yarn. You can cut off any extra bits. And that's it. We are done. We have our froggy pencil topper. It's kind of like a tongue twister, but it's not. So I just like to fluff up the eyes and fluff up the little eyebrows. And we'll stick in a pencil here and show you. Such a cutie. And you guys can see that's the same smile. And then here is the other smile, the little lower. So you guys decide. I'm not sure. I like them both. Kind of give them different personality maybe. You can put these all on your crochet hooks. I think that would be super fun to have a bunch of different crochet hooks with all different little toppers. So thank you guys for joining me today. I do have the full written crochet pattern on yarnsociety.com for free. And you can also check out all my other videos and all my free patterns on yarnsociety.com. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.